Hey everyone. I thought I'd do a sketchbook tour this month. I know I've done a life drawing one recently, but I thought I'd do a more general mix of sketchbooks. I tend to keep my sketchbook separate in terms of I just keep my life drawing very separate, but the rest of the other bits and bobs like patron sessions, location drawing, random drawing for myself, drawing from photos, etc. They all just go into other sketchbooks. So I only really separate two sketchbooks out, and then I have like a thin moleskin for storybook ideas. But so these two are mix. So they are a Pith sketchbook and a Roald Talon sketchbook that I had running at the same time between April and June. So that's not too bad for me. I don't fill up these sketchbooks super quickly because I don't tend to do a huge amount of location drawing and stuff. I tend to fill up my life drawing sketchbooks quite quickly, but these ones often take me a bit longer. But two sketchbooks in 3 months is not bad for me, so that's good. Some of these sketches have work in from the Italy art retreat that I ran, so it's nice for me to be able to show you those as well, because I did actually get a little bit of work done, not loads, but more than I anticipated, which was quite nice. So I'll start with the Roald Talons one, or I might dive between actually, because I feel like because I was having them run at the same time, there might be some overlaps. So this one is the one that I flicked through on Instagram, I think, just to update people on how my Patreon was changing. So you've seen this sketchbook at speed, but obviously I didn't talk through it on Instagram. So these are drawings of the foxes that are in the garden. This is the mum fox. When I first took photos and videos, before I ran it for our patron session, I did try and draw from the photos I'd taken of the foxes in the garden. Sadly, the other day, the mum fox got run over outside our house. I knew it was her. It's weird, isn't it? I think because I've looked at them for so long, and then I had pictures of her and I went out to look at her on the road, which was kind of gross, but also I felt like I really needed to identify her. So she's been run over, but the two fox cubs are still underneath the studio. And I hope they're okay. They're quite big now. They look more like foxes, less like cubs. Like they're all long and they look more like the mum, just much smaller versions. But they've got that like long legginess to them that they didn't have when they were little. But I don't know. I mean, I hope they're okay and they can just sort of fend for themselves, and they're happy underneath the studio and like playing in the garden and eating things. But you sort of wonder how much more she had to teach them. I don't know. So I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. But I'm not an expert, so I might look it up and see what happens if the mum goes missing. So this was early on in April when they were very tiny and they looked more like little puppies, not foxes. Oh, and then this is lots of the drawings that I was doing. There was a live near us is the Knepp estate, and it's a rewilding project, only about sort of 20 minutes up the road, and they had a stalk camera for the storks that were breeding there. So I was watching that for a while and drawing it because they've got such a nice shape, the storks. They're really, really lovely, and it was really nice to draw from something that was so near to me. So that's the storks, and their babies were hilarious, like popping their heads up between the wings. There's obviously only a mating pair, but I've just drawn the stork in again when they were landed in a different position. But it was really nice watching those guys, very relaxing. I know Emma really enjoys wildlife cams, and she uses them a lot, and I haven't actually watched the one that she's mentioned. I want to say like Hester, but I can't remember. I'll look up the one that she recommends. But I know it's a really nice one, with like a river, I think, at the bottom of his garden. But I haven't watched that one. But I did really enjoy this. I'm not a big nature drawer. I don't love drawing animals. It's not a massive strong point for me. But this was really nice, and I think because it felt a bit like life drawing, you know, because they're sort of moving but not moving too much. It gave me more of a sense of urgency and less preciousness, I guess. So yeah, it was good. This is drawing the kids on the sofa with my husband. I've got into the habit of drawing them a bit more frequently. I'm trying to capture their likeness, which is really difficult when you know people that well, to capture their likeness. But they always sit in the same positions, and Ned often sits like this, on squished in here. He likes to really squish in next to my husband, and Eden always sits this side. And it's just nice to watch like little things where hands go. So his hand goes often under Ben's arm, and Ben's arm goes through Ned's legs. It seems to be like that's often, they seem to sit in a similar position. So it's really nice to watch them. This guy on the train when I had to go up to London. More people on the train. This is, I went camping with Stanley, just my oldest, for like their kind of, they do like an annual meet, their year group, and so this was the latest one where it was the meet up for that. And I had a few minutes because it was just me and Stan had gone off with his friends. Now that they're 13, they tend to disappear for quite a while. I just tried to draw part of the campsite. I didn't love this drawing, but I also don't dislike it for something that's quite difficult. So I started with some of this structure, and then I just tried to like grow out from it, which is okay. This is me trying to draw the kids playing badminton, but it was impossible, so I stopped. This is just some little little tiny thumbnails, like tiny viewpoints basically from there's a really nice graveyard round the corner from us, and it's quite big, and it's got a beautiful church in the middle of it, and lots of like space, and it's just very quiet off quite a busy road. It's a really nice space to walk in, so I just went there when the weather was really good. I guess this is in May now, and just sat and drew like lots and lots of different little viewpoints just for practice. I had an hour and I wanted to get out of the house and go somewhere really quiet, so that was nice. So I did that. This is a practice drawing for Ostuni, and that's something out. I think that's like the aerial shot of this. This is another practice drawing that I did for the venue for the retreat. I made like little welcome zines for everybody with the itinerary on, and this was the picture on the back of that. This is the venue at the Maasai era. This is just testing colours. I think these are at the airport, I think, although you wouldn't know it. They could be on the train. Yeah, so this is the beginning of me going to Italy. So these are some early drawings. It was quite an early flight. This is on the plane. There was a bag delay. This is terrible. It's not in the right position at all, but there was a bag delay, and these people came on to talk to the pilot. So the door was open for ages, and it was really interesting. And they come in, and their high-vis jackets are so big, so I really enjoyed just sitting drawing while we were having a bag delay. Then I tried to draw the girl doing the safety demonstration, but they move much quicker than I remembered. I always feel like safety demonstration goes on for quite a while, but actually they are quite fast. And then this is just views through the window. We had to wait for quite a while for our slot because we'd got delayed originally. So this is just as it taxied around, I just drew each viewpoint out of the window that I could see. So this is all Gatwick, and then we took off, and then these are the two from when we land at Bari. More drawings of people. I think I left that page and obviously filled it in when we landed, but this is more drawings of the plane, people sleeping on the plane. I quite like these. I quite like the negative space, and I quite like the layout of them. This is when they come and serve the drinks. So this is the trolley guy pushing it up, and he was talking about things, and so I just recorded some of the stuff that he was saying. But quite like this one as well. The EasyJet's got a nice colour scheme because it's that bright orange with like quite a lot of this very dull grey, so it's quite nice to draw. This is near the venue. The day I arrived, I was there 24 hours before anyone else, and so I had some time at the venue by myself. So I just went to walk to try and get my bearings and look at where the flamingos are, so that I knew like where they were and how far the walk was, so that we could do that when we were there. And on the way back from the flamingos, I stopped. The beaches are really beautiful, and some parts are rocky and some parts are completely sandy. And I just stopped here, and it was like sort of this bit's rocky, but the beach bit that I was sitting on was like part rock, part sand, and I had a swim, and then I just sat and drew the view up to the road here with a few buildings on. It was really peaceful and really nice. It was very much that calm before being very nervous about what I was about to do. But it's nice when you make stuff like that and you remember the memory of it. I think this is a lot of art graph and castle earth and other bits and bobs. This is a drawing that I really don't like. I'm going to try not to rush through it. So the sun sets, and when it sets, it makes the building is white, but it makes this panel here glow because it's white, and then the sun is setting on this side over here, and so this whole wall catches. Well, this wall and this white building here seem to be perfectly lined up to catch the sunset, and it glowed pink. And I think so I don't like it because it looks pretty, and that wasn't what I was trying to capture. I was trying to capture the glow of the building, and I haven't done that. I think I had got my luminous fluorescent pastel, and I should have just got that. The other thing I needed to do was make it smaller. It bothers me that it's too high, and it needed to drop down, and I just needed to try and describe the glow without it feeling like I'd made it look pretty or something. I think some of this is a bit fiddly and twee at the front, and it's not helping it either. So it was disappointing as well, because it looked in real life so much nicer than this, and I haven't managed to capture it. But maybe next time, maybe when I go back next year. Then this is the morning view down from the retreat down to the sea. You can walk, there's a road, this is the road here, like literally along there to the sea. It's only about 15 minutes walk down there. So this is the view through the old farmhouse gates. The breakfast tables are up here and stuff, so this is the view down. And so this is the morning before everyone turned up, so I was just drawing the view while I waited to prepare the retreat room. And then the really lovely sort of manager, I guess, of the space, not the owner, but like she's the manager, Miriam, she took me for a coffee, and we went near a cafe, like a beach bar, in the morning before everyone came, and I did a bit of drawing down at the beach with her. And that was really nice because I love drawing people on the beach, especially like this with the deck chair and stuff and legs. It's just so pleasing. So that was that. These are some of the objects from the venue. In all the rooms, they're like really beautifully decorated with local pottery and enamelware, and so lots of vintage things. And I just went round and drew all the pots that I could see. This is the next day. This is two of the retreat attendees talking, both very much into birds. So that I think this is Stephanie's big camera that she was holding. So they were looking. There's a lot of birds, a lot of when the like bird of prey like hover and drop down. So there's a lot of that happening across these fields. I think they're looking for lizards. So that was just them after breakfast. That's Stephanie again with her camera taking photos of the foliage. This is, we had a lunch break and I just went into the kitchen, and this is Francesca and Rosanna. This is a dreadful drawing of Rosanna. She was livid when she saw it. And I don't blame her. As soon as I did it, I was like, oh God, she's going to get me. And this is Francesca. She was grating carrots for our salad for lunch. She was really great fun, really, really lovely. Rosanna was really nice as well, but we really got to know Francesca. She was there a lot, and it was really nice. So I just went in the kitchen and did a sneaky draw. This is a prickly pear stamp. We cut one in half to look at it and to eat it, and then we were just stamping with it. Stephanie was eating it. This is like a funny little truck that was in the venue, a delivery truck guy. It's one of those ones that's almost like a bike inside, like a motorbike, and then it's like got the truck part around it. This isn't a great drawing. I was rushing to do something before teaching. And then this was an example that I did when I was there, like creating negative space with tape. And the sky was, there was a lot of, I guess because we were May, sometimes like lots of weather rolled in and rolled past us that it didn't rain on us, but it just rolled past. So often the sky was really amazing and very dramatic, because the building's bright white and then the sky sometimes would be an incredible contrast to the building. So this is Abby, and she's drawing the truck and I'm drawing her, just while it was just like an exercise I set them off to do. This is in Ostuni. This is a drawing that I did sitting in the cafe. It's quite nervy, the drawing. I can sense nerves and hesitation, and also not very quick. Like I should have done a lot more than that, and I didn't in the time that I sat there. A lot of my drawings, I think, really reflect how I feel. This was me trying to capture a guy that walked past. These are two touristy guys that were nearby. They were nice to draw. Someone she had an amazing hat that looked like a load of crepes sitting on top of each other. I've got a photo of it. I think somebody took a photo of her for me. Perhaps it's Meg, and sent it to me. So I need to kind of draw her, because she was just she had a great outfit on and she was so perfect, but she just disappeared really fast. This is sitting at lunch in Ostuni. We all had lunch together, which was really nice. The view over here is incredible. Ostuni's really pretty, and so we had such a nice lunch sitting here having, well, whatever we wanted and some wine. It was really nice. These are my dreadful drawings of flamingos. I couldn't do them. They weren't for me. I knew I wouldn't like them as soon as I saw them. I just felt so intimidated by how they're supposed to look, and I didn't do a good job. Some other people did such nice jobs of this, but I didn't. So I just did these three, and then I was like, oh, it's not for me. So I just wandered with everyone and taught instead. We were walking along to like a local town to draw there, and these are the guys in the bar that we sat in and had a coffee. We did a little bit of drawing practice with the lovely chef ladies. So this is Francesca again. They were very fun, and they came and posed for us because they'd seen us drawing all week and they were quite keen to be drawn, so we drew them, but they were doing it just in between, like prepping for dinner, so they couldn't stay long. So these are like 2-minute, 3-minute drawings of the ladies, but it was really sweet. They were so nice, so that was lovely too. Or this is this is just before we did pasta making. It was to kind of warm up before pasta making. So this is Rosa. She's one of the mums of the ladies that cook, and so she showed us how to make pasta. She had like incredible red painted nails, and her hands, you know, when people look like they work with their hands all the time, she had those sorts of hands. It was amazing. So she was great. So we took it in turns and did some pasta making, and then we did some drawing, and that was really nice. This is one afternoon. There's like a bit of free time every day, and most of the time we went to the beach. So this is a drawing of a guy selling like necklaces and jewellery and stuff near us. Although, to be honest, he just put his thing up and didn't actually try and sell us much at all. This is the last day that we were there. On the Sunday we had time for a swim, and then I did one-to-one tutorials for the rest of the day, which was really lovely. So in the morning we quickly ran down for a swim. Well, I did, because I was the one doing all the tutorials, and so it took me a couple of goes to get him and think about where he needed to be in the sketchbook. So that one wasn't right, then that one wasn't right, and he was in the gutter, and then I tried again. So he had very long, slim legs, and I really wanted to try and capture that. So this is him, and then now I've finished the retreat, and now I'm in Bari with my friend Sarah Archer, who's the SA studio who does the websites and stuff, and she was my like helper, a bit like Harriet was for Emma. I really appreciated her being there. She was really like a lot of support for me, and a lot of like emotional support as well, because I found some aspects of the retreat, because I'd never done it before, quite stressful, especially as organising it myself, not through a company. I felt like there was a huge amount of pressure on me, so I found it was quite hard work in places, not bad hard work, just hard work. And so we had 24 hours in Bari before we flew back, just me and Sarah, and it was really nice. So this is some drawing from a lunch in the old town with Sarah. It was really fun though, because that evening, so this is the 4th, but on the 3rd we drove to Bari to stay, and then in the evening we met up with lovely Erin, who had been on the retreat, who was catching a really early flight out in the morning back to Canada, and so she came and had dinner with us, which was so nice. Like, you think you want to, you've had enough and you're really tired, but I really lucked out with the group. They were incredible, so it was so nice to have Erin for dinner again. It was like we couldn't quite be parted. This is a drawing at Bari Airport when we were waiting for our flight. I like this drawing too. I feel like it's all the things I like. So this was a really nice space to draw. And these are more like bits and bobs on the plane when I was drawing and waiting. Again, trying to capture the information, the safety announcement. This is again drawing the inside of the plane with the trolley guys. This is an evening I went to at the Theatre Royal in Brighton, and it's called Between the Covers, and they do this on TV. So they get guests on as a panel, and they talk about books that they love and their favourite books. Sometimes they have an author on to talk about their books, and they did it live. So this is Joe Brand. This is Stephen Mangan, who also presents Portrait Artist of the Year. This, I can't remember her name. She was like the host basically, and this was a lady from EastEnders whose name has also escaped me. But it was a really nice evening. My mum took me. She really wanted to go. It was pretty much pitch black, so don't judge my drawings basically. Poor Joe Brand does not. She looks a bit more like Joe Brand here, but she was great. She's very funny, and I liked listening to them and the quotes, and then trying to catch them. This is Stephen, but it doesn't look like Stephen. This is the guy that wrote Star of the Sea, Joseph someone. I didn't write it down in time. He was really great, and his book sounded really interesting. I really liked the sound of that. And then this was Stephen getting very animated by Goat Song, which was like the best book he'd ever read or something. This is on the beach drawing Eden and my friend's dogs. So they both got whippets. This is Dolly and this is Frida. Some terrible otters from Emma's live session. This one I didn't mind. Looks more, I don't know if it looks like an otter. It might look more like a ferret or something. Anyway, they are awful, but I loved them as animals, but I couldn't draw them. Then this one was slightly better. I got into this. It was suddenly found the otter groove, although I don't like this part, but this part's quite nice. So yeah, that was quite nice, and quite fun trying to work out like water texture. So that was a lot of art graph, and these pencils that Emma made everybody buy, which I really like. These Distress, she said I'd like them, and she was right. Distress watercolour, so I don't mind when she's right. These are really, really nice though, because they are like the Posca pencils that I really like. These ones. But they come in nicer colour, like a better range of colours, I should say. These come in nice colours, but not very many. These come in loads of colours, and these are quite nice because they're water soluble. So they've got like dual use, which is always useful. But yeah, so otter session. Some more otters from Emma's session. Again, like, that's not really an otter. That's not an otter. That might be an otter. That might be a dog. Oh, and this one, which I did also quite like. And kind of happy with water texture again. I think that's, again, possibly those crayons, maybe. Or some soft pastel, perhaps. It's hard to tell. That's the nice thing about the crayons. They almost give like a... Might be a bit of a mash, I think, of the crayons and soft pastel over here. But yeah, kind of like that. I think that's it. I think the rest of it's testing, probably testing for, yeah, showing how to make panels, colours, blah, blah, blah. Oh, kids' drawings. Yeah, so that's that one. I've spoken for quite a while, so I try not to speak for too long on this one. This is the same time frame, so this is from our drawing session, so you've seen these, and this is on Instagram. So these are from Bologna, from the drawing session that we did. So I quite like these. There's a lot of prepped paper with oil pastel and this, which I love, so that's nice. I showed people how to do that on the retreat, and we spent a long time playing with that. That was nice texture. This is something that I messed up, and I've collaged this bit of paper on top, and I need to do something with it because it bothers me. This is drawings from Bologna, but we've seen these because we did that show and tell, so I won't stay on it too long. This is something that I drew from a photo. Again, more collage in place, which I've really been enjoying. Train drawings, more stalks, so the White Stalk project in Nep Estate, I'll put a link to that. I really enjoyed that with this bit of collage as well. These are the babies trying to eat stuff. Some of them were so greedy, the way it's like they were eating a whole chicken or something. It was kind of gross, but fascinating. So this is rearranging the nest. She looked a bit annoyed, and he was just like, or it was the other way around, he was resting and she was like faffing around with the nest. This is more practice for the retreats. This is Ostuni. This is Ostuni from a photo with a bit of collage stuck on. But then I got to draw this view again, which was so fun. Like, I'd drawn it on Google Maps, and then I found a really nice spot, and we all sat there and drew it again. And it was, I loved it being banked, like bordered by, this is the statue, and then this here with the another building. It just felt like this is the bit that you were looking at, and I really wanted to push us to look at that. So yeah, I was happy with this, but it was nice to do it again from photos. This is Ostuni as well, but this is from Google Maps, not from live. This was me practicing before we went, thinking about the colours we might all need out there. More stalk drawings again. I used to check in on them quite regularly, but the little ones have flown the nest now. But it was really nice to draw them. This is another practice, I think potentially is Ostuni again, but practicing on like a little jelly plate prep paper. This is a march I went on in Worthing for Palestine. I really like drawing at the marches. It's really difficult, but I really like it. Another train journey. This is the kind of funny watchtower near the venue. It's like Tor Colomina, and it's like on the walk that we went to do with the flamingos are just here, and the little fishing town is up here, and this sort of funny watchtower is on the way. That's it again. This is showing, this is negative space. This is more objects from the venue. So many nice shapes and objects, loved it. This is a drawing that I've done since I've got back of tourists in Ostuni. These are some drawings I did. I think this is pre-going. I think this is practicing again. Yeah, practicing, thinking about the venue from afar. There's like little gardens inside the venue, and I was thinking about that. They'd sent me loads of photos, so I was just practicing some bits and bobs. And then this is actually in Ostuni, so this is the same view here I drew from Google Maps. So this is exactly the same view, but I'm looking to the left. So this is the statue that's here, And so I've drawn it the other side and another building, because that was the view that I had. But it's really fascinating to me to think about the same. So this bit here is this bit, I think, and then these little zigzags are these zigzags here. So it's, yeah, and I've used some more collage, and I've done the same thing. I really enjoyed how I cut out here the shape of the parasol, and so I had some textured collage paper with me, so I've done the same thing here for this parasol. But I like this drawing a lot more. It feels like it's a lot livelier. Like, this is nice, but it feels a bit stiff. I don't know. It'd be interesting to know what you think, but I like this one, but it feels a bit stiff. And this one feels like it has a bit more life in it. It was, yeah. So anyway, I was really happy to have drawn the same thing again. I really wanted to test it out in real life. This was a guy smoking nearby outside his pizza shop. Then this was down near Tor Colomina, where the watchtower is. This is the fishing village that we went to that day. There's this massive statue of Jesus there as you sit and look, and he's looking out to the water. It's really nice. There's a bay here, and all the little fishing boats were in. It was a bit of a windy day, so the boats are moving around a lot. But yeah, perfect drawing place for me. I think there's one page left I haven't filled in. I think these are just, yeah, more testing, more showing about textures, etc, etc. So yeah, so there's the two sketchbooks from April to June. But I hope you enjoyed seeing those. And I will, yeah, if there's anything that you want to know about materials or textures or places, or if you want to know about the retreat, I'm just finalising the details now. That'll be open to the waiting list first, and then Patreon next, and then Instagram after that. But yeah, any questions at all, just let me know. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and see you all soon.